I got a 1940s quartermaster Spyglass.
You ever take this to the beach?
No, but I had a neighbor offer to buy it to spy at his neighbor undressing in her window at night.
I brought you the first printed book with American baseball rules. I can promise you it's not a price out of the ballpark.
Rick meets a customer with a percussion pistol that was just sitting around after a friend moved to Japan. Rick checks the ramrod and realizes it's actually loaded. Everyone instinctively leans back. It's cap and ball, early 1800s territory. The seller's hoping for $1,100. Rick's fascinated, but you can cut the tension with a knife. Nobody wants this thing to sneeze.
What do we have?
Well, it's an old percussion pistol.
That's neat.
This was just given to me by a friend of mine. He retired to Japan, and you're not allowed to take firearms into Japan.
Yeah, that's true.
Rick spots the big clue. No rifling. Most likely a dueling pistol, he says, tossing in a quick Hamilton Burr history jab. Then he notices a safety. Super rare for this style. Gorgeous engraving. Strong condition. Collector catnip. Except it isn't a pair. Collectors crave matched sets, and that dings the price hard. Still, the seller's confident. Rick's gears are turning. Can you believe this drama over one elegant boomstick?
The way you could be pointing at a building and miss it. But sometimes, it didn't turn out that way. Alexander Hamilton, the guy on the $10 bill, is actually killed in a duel.
I'll be honest with you, you ain't gonna get me on the business end of that thing.
Negotiation time. Rick asks if there's a second pistol. Nope, then fires a $500 offer. The seller pushes back, trying to hold near $900. Corey suggests $850 as the sweet spot, and after a tense beat, the seller bites. Deal! Rick knows a single will be harder to move than a pair, but the profit math still works. Seriously, look at that reaction. Relief and adrenaline in one handshake.
In a minute. I guarantee you, collectors want them in pairs. I'm thinking $500.
That's way too low. Lowest I could go is like $900.
A customer arrives with a hat he says belonged to Ronnie Van Zant from Leonard Skynerd. Corey's skepticism gets louder by the second. The story's big. Backstage pass. Ronnie puts the hat on his head, and weeks later, the 1977 plane crash. The room quiets. This feels personal, but the ask is colossal. $25,000. Talk about sticker shock.
How can I help you?
I wanted to sell some.
Well, what do you got?
This amazing hat belonged to Ronnie Van Zant.
Ronnie Van Zant.
Leonard Skinner, Freebird. He gave it to me in 1977.
Really?
Really.
Rick examines the hat. Custom, 100% beaver. Exactly the high-end quality a star would wear. The provenance, though, thin. There's a photo, some wear patterns, and a heartfelt memory, but not the concrete proof to justify 5 figures. Drama overload. You can feel Rick balancing emotion and risk, while Corey practically waves a red flag in the background.
On mine, he says, "How's that?" And then 2 months later, October, I think it was 21st, that the plane went down and Ronnie was dead. This is a piece of history.
Yeah.
Now we're at the real crossroads. The seller comes down, $20,000. Rick swings big with $10,000 cash on the spot. Corey calls it crazy. You can practically hear Freebird tuning up in Rick's head. The seller hesitates. This is his story, his moment, his connection to a legend. Tension so thick you could slice it with a guitar pick.
That means it's 100% beaver. Those are very expensive hats. When you have a hat that expensive, you get it custom made.
This is a cool hat tied to a big rock star, and I actually do believe this guy's story, but we can't sell it just based on a story.
Final push. Rick won't budge above 10. The seller won't dip below 20. After a heavy pause, the seller walks. No deal, just a lingering mix of nostalgia and frustration. Corey looks relieved. Rick looks like he just dodged a very expensive maybe. Seriously, watch that reaction. Painful and proud all at once.
Dad, you're crazy. He has no real proof that this is.
I see enough proof here.
I think you're crazy for offering him 10 grand, honestly. I'm gonna bow out here. I don't want any part of this.
Next, a man strolls in with a first edition of Dickens' David Copperfield. Claims he won it after a round of golf. Only in Vegas, right? Rick checks the imprint details and sees a single date. A good first edition sign. Condition, though, is dicey, foxing, and spotting. The seller shoots for $4,000. Rick counters way lower. They spar. The vibe is hopeful but tense.
I'm here to sell my first edition David Copperfield by Charles Dickens, one of my favorite classic writers.
Yeah, he was like a rock star. There's some pretty iconic characters he created. Scrooge.
The back and forth builds, and Rick lands the deal at $1,600. A calculated gamble without his expert present. The seller's content. Rick's cautiously pleased. It's the classic Pawn Stars gamble. Buy first, validate second. I did not see that coming. coming. Okay, I kinda did. But still, gutsy move.
Be $1,000.
That's a first edition, about 3.
I pay you $3,000 for that. There ain't enough room left in there for me to make mine.
About 2.
Rick brings in book expert Rebecca to validate his Dickens gamble. She checks references, flips to page 16, and boom. Recall, spelled with 1 L, first issue of the first edition. Huge. Condition knocks it down, but she still estimates $2,500 to $3,000 retail. Rick lights up. Profit lane, baby. Talk about a twist from risky buy to solid win.
Earlier, I bought what appears to be a first edition David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. I think I made a good deal, but I'm not sure. So I asked my friend Rebecca to come and check it out.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Rebecca, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, I want you to look at something.
A Porsche 911 engine appears in a truck bed like it fell off a drift racer's dream. The seller wants $4,500, calling it a 2000 Carrera motor. Rick and Chumlee admire the setup, but corrosion and open ports scream seaside storage and mystery internals. Risk is scrawled all over it. I just want someone to look at it, Rick says. Smart.
What do you got here?
It's a 2000 Porsche Carrera 911 engine.
Porsche motors are really cool. This motor right here, it's a 6-cylinder, water-cooled, pancake motor. They're much better balanced, put a much lower profile on the motor.
Back to the Porsche engine with Danny the Count Coker. He spots exposure points, corrosion, and the big unknown. What's happening inside? The seller insists it's fine. Danny calmly says the only way to know is to open it up. The temperature rises. This turns into a pride versus expertise showdown. You can cut this tension with a knife.
I brought by a Porsche engine they picked up at a junkyard. I have some concerns, so I asked my buddy Danny to take a look at it for me. What's up, brother?
How you guys doing, man? So what do we got, man?
It's a Porsche engine.
The guys call me down on a regular basis to come check out something if it's automotive related or motorcycle related for the most part.
Meanwhile, a vintage rotary payphone clunks onto the counter, thick as a mini safe. The seller explains it's converted for home use, works without coins, but still dings for nickels, dimes, and quarters. Nostalgia hits hard. Demand exists, but it's not rare. Watch the soft shoe negotiation glide in.
You ever hear the term drop a dime?
Yeah.
It's all payphones used to take. It's cool that somebody already went through the trouble to convert this phone so it can be used at home. Saves me a lot of trouble. People will definitely buy these things, but they want to use them, not just keep them like a collector would. Do you want to pawn it or sell it?
Rick makes the call. Pass. Too many variables. Not enough assurance. The seller's frustrated. Danny stays cool. Rick's relieved to avoid a $5,000 science experiment. It's a decisive, dramatic end to the day's riskiest pitch. No engine, no regrets, just a hard-learned rule. If you can't verify, don't buy.
I don't think all the corrosion can go inside the engine because there is no pressure, so they won't go inside the injectors. I think you have to bring a good mechanic, a professional one that can know what to do.
Danny's my man. I mean, this guy can fix anything.
Rick's buddy Adam presents the book like it's the holy grail of sports collectibles. Printed back in 1834 in Boston, complete with an illustration of kids playing baseball before the Civil War even started. It's pure history, but Rick's no pushover. He wants to verify before dropping thousands. Let's get Jeremy in here, he says, because even early baseball needs expert backup.
Hey, Rick, how's it going?
Hey, Adam, what's up?
I'm not going to throw you a curve with this one.
Okay.
I brought you the first printed book with American baseball rules. I can promise you it's not a price out of the ballpark.
Back to the baseball book. Jeremy, the sports memorabilia expert, arrives, and his face lights up like a kid in Cooperstown. This is the book, he says. It's one of the earliest printed references to baseball, even describing how early players ran the wrong direction around the bases. Who knew baseball once looked like dodgeball?
Shop, and he's got a book that he says is the very first book with the rules of baseball. But this one's tricky. I got to figure out what this thing is worth. So I called in my buddy Jeremy. I just don't know anything about it. I've never even heard of the book,
Next up, a man brings in a Civil War drum, and the backstory hits hard. Passed down from his antique dealer dad, it's said to be the real deal from the battlefield. Chumlee's fascinated while Rick inspects the drum like Sherlock Holmes with a snare. Repairs are obvious, and some parts look newer than they should. Rick calls in a historian for backup, because when Civil War claims show up, you verify every beat.
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, nice to see you again.
You came in a while ago with like a Star Wars script or something, right?
That's right, absolutely.
Okay, and we got a drum.
It's a Civil War drum you just can't beat.
The historian arrives and instantly drops a bombshell. I don't think this is Civil War, more like 1870s or 1880s. Talk about a gut punch. Turns out it's a parade drum, not a battlefield relic. Still 19th century, still collectible, just not war grade. The seller's disappointed, but hey, that's the sound of history playing a different tune.
A guy came in with a Civil War era drum. Believe it or not, I am not an expert on Civil War era drums, so I called in someone who is. So this is the drum I called you about.
Oh, very nice.
He claims it's from the Civil War.
Negotiation time. The seller was dreaming of $12,000, but after hearing it's post-war, Rick fires back at $500. You could feel the man's soul leave his body. He pleads his case. It's still Americana. They haggle fiercely, finally landing at $950, a far cry from 12 grand, but at least he can still hear the sweet sound of profit.
Well, you know, he did say it was possible it was used in the Civil War, and
It's possible I could graduate from Harvard.
I don't know.
The fact of the matter is, it's not Civil War, okay? I'm looking at $500.
You know, I can understand not 12,000.
A new seller walks in with something you don't see every day, a cast iron ice shaver from the 1930s or 40s. Corey's intrigued. The guy says it's from Japan and used for making halo halo, a Filipino dessert. He even jokes that the rust alone could earn him a tetanus shot. Talk about a frosty find.
So do you know how old it is?
I don't actually. I found one similar online. It was from 1943. It's made in Japan, but it looked just like.
That would make sense. I would say it's probably 1930s, 1940s.
Corey gives the full demo. You slam a block of ice in, crank it down, and out comes shaved ice ready for snow cones. Simple, vintage, and weirdly charming. The seller wants $900, dreaming of selling it for plane tickets to visit his son. Corey keeps it real. I'll give you $300. After a short, cold haggle, they meet at $350. It's a sweet deal, literally.
So, I mean, take something like this, probably cost a penny to make it. And it was a cheap thrill for a kid, for a parent to be able to buy something like that. You know, the same reason people do it today. What are you looking to do with it?
Want to get rid of it, maybe get a couple plane tickets so I can see my son.
Jeremy calls it one of the most important baseball books ever printed and pegs it as super rare. But for pricing, he tells Rick to bring in a book specialist. You'll need Rebecca for this one. Now that's when you know it's serious, when even the expert calls another expert. Rick nods. Rebecca's on the way.
The rules that are within this book are so different, you know, from the rules played today. I mean, to record an out, you could essentially throw the ball at the guy and it's an out.
So it was baseball / dodgeball?
Yeah, or if you played in high school and before, butts up.
Switching gears, Chumlee meets a guy selling a 1932 Bridgewater's Corkscrew, nicknamed the King Daddy of all openers. It's literally a corkscrew inside a coffin-shaped box made to celebrate the end of Prohibition. How perfectly twisted is that? The seller's asking $1,100, and Chumlee's already chuckling about popping bottles back in the day.
Pretty good, how you doing?
Good, good. I have a Bridgewater's Corkscrew, produced in 1932. It comes in a coffin. This is more or less the king daddy of all corkscrews and bottle openers.
All right. I guess even back in the day, they were popping bottles.
Chumlee dives into the backstory. Prohibition turned America into a bootlegging frenzy, and this corkscrew's creator made sure to immortalize the chaos. It's rare, historic, and weirdly hilarious. But $1,100? No chance. Chumlee starts at $150, and after some back and forth volleys, they seal it at $325. The seller's thrilled, bought it for $125 years ago, and now it's paying for his next round.
$1,100.
Whew, $1,100, huh?
And again, you know, condition is everything in this kind of a market.
It is, but I just don't see it bringing nowhere near that.
Where are you at then?
Man, I'm looking at like $150.
Can you get up close to $850?
The nostalgia continues when a customer walks in holding a 1970s Nash skateboard. He says it's a childhood memory, and he's asking $150. Corey instantly spots the issue. The wheels aren't original. These old boards used to send riders flying after one pebble. The guy laughs, admitting it's not exactly Tony Hawk material.
1970s Nash skateboard.
All right, where in the world did you get this?
Overland Park, Kansas, of all places. Not really a skateboard mecca.
Was there an abundance of skate parks in Kansas? Or?
I don't think so.
Corey breaks it down. Nash was big in the 70s, but without original wheels, the collector value tanks. He offers $20, straight-faced. The seller smiles, politely declines, and says he'll let his grandkids ride it instead. Honestly, wholesome ending, even if the profit rolled away faster than the board itself.
Urethane wheels, which was a big deal. How much you want for it?
I know you gotta make money. I wanna make a little money, so I would think 150 bucks would be a fair price.
Problem is if it's a $150 collectible, it better all be there.
Rebecca finally arrives to appraise the baseball book, and her verdict is golden. A landmark piece, she says. It unites all the early elements of baseball. The condition? Great. She estimates $7,500 to $8,500 in retail. Rick's eyes widen. Time for the pitch! He offers $3,500. The seller fires back with $4,500. Rick finally swings and lands it at $4,000. Grand slam deal.
He's got the first book that describes the rules of baseball. Jeremy says it's the real deal, but I still don't know what it's worth. So I've called Rebecca down to the shop, and anybody knows, she will.
This is a really, really rare book. This wasn't the first even to have a baseball diamond. It wasn't
The seller's ecstatic, the book's headed to a new home, and Rick jokes, "Slide into home with it." Rebecca cringes. "Stop, dude, please!" The shop bursts into laughter. Another day, another priceless artifact, and a few groan-worthy puns to end it on brand.
I think it's completely justified to say $7,500 to $8,500.
Okay. Well, all right, cool. You're the best.
Happy to help.
I think that if Rick gets this for a good price, it's a very smart buy.
Things explode into action when a customer walks in carrying a mini suit of armor that looks straight out of a medieval fantasy. Rick's intrigued, Chumlee's confused, and what seems like a toy might actually be a handcrafted 19th century reproduction worth serious money. But will this knight in shining armor save the day, or just clank into the pawn shop history books?
Every little bit will help, at least towards my book.
So where did you get this thing?
It's been at my grandmother's forever, as long as I can remember. I'd always be playing with it when I come over there, get in trouble every time. I didn't know how expensive it was until a couple years ago when I got it.
The seller explains he's pawning the suit to pay for college books. Relatable. Rick inspects every detail. Hand-hammered steel, fully articulated fingers, flawless craftsmanship. Chumlee calls it broken, prompting Rick to drop a quick history lesson and a vocabulary burn. Articulate's a big word for you. The shop erupts in laughter. Only in Vegas do you get history lessons and insults in the same minute.
Worth a lot of money.
What it is, it's a 19th century reproduction of 16th century armor. Everything was fully articulating, and this is built just really similar to the way it was. I mean, literally, you could do this, you could move any way you wanted. Yeah, when they made these, they didn't cut no corners. All this is hand fabricated, hand hammered.
Rick breaks down the reality. Even in the 1800s, this would have cost around $19,000 adjusted for inflation. The seller jokes, "So you gonna give me that?" Rick fires back, "No, because it didn't keep up with inflation." Talk about killing the mood. The man wants a $2,500 pawn loan, but Rick's not about to joust for that number.
Hand fabricated, hand hammered. They use little teeny anvils, little teeny hammers, and they make the whole thing. This was probably a few hundred hours work by a guy who made it. Okay? And this is nearly identical to what a full-size set of armor would be like.
Yes, sir.
The craftsmanship on these mini suits of armor was amazing.
After some back and forth, Rick offers $1,100, and the seller reluctantly agrees. "That'll do," he says. Rick smirks. Classic deal energy. Whether the guy redeems it or not, Rick's set to profit. It's not Excalibur, but it's definitely another golden score for the shop. Can you believe a knight helped pay someone's tuition?
Like 100 pounds. If you account for inflation, this thing basically cost $19,000 at the time.
Is that how much money you're gonna give me?
No.
Why not?
Because it didn't keep up with inflation.
It's not my problem.
So what do you want to do, pawn it or sell it?
I want to pawn it.
Moments later, a man drops by with a 1940s quartermaster Spyglass, claiming it's a World War II relic once used by Navy artillery gunners. Rick immediately perks up. Military gear always draws him in. But when the customer admits someone once tried to buy it to spy on his neighbor, Rick's face says it all. Okay, that's weird.
Hey, what do we have here?
We got a 1940s quartermaster Spyglass.
You ever take this to the beach?
No, but I had a neighbor offer to buy it to spy at his neighbor undressing in her window at night.
Rick inspects the brass telescope. Solid shape, cracked leather, slightly dirty optics, but still sharp. The man wants to sell it for bill money after a layoff. Rick's tempted but uncertain if it's rare or common, so he calls in Mark from the Clark County Museum. If this glass really came off a famous ship, it could mean major payday.
Well, I did some research, and I found out that it was used by artillery gunners to track rounds fired from World War II ships.
top of the ship, and this is how they looked at the horizon.
You have to remember at the beginning of World War II, the majority of ships didn't have radar.
Later, at the museum, Mark confirms it's the real deal, a 16-power quartermaster spyglass, fully authentic to 1940 specs. The only problem? There's no record of which ship it came from, so while it's genuine, it's not traceable to history's great battleships. Rick looks disappointed, but Mark's right. Still a beautiful save from the dump.
Met with a guy who wants to sell me a 1940 World War II spyglass. The only thing I know, it's real. But what I'm really hoping is we can find out which ship it came off of, and that would make it worth a lot more money. So we decided to meet with my buddy Mark at the Clark County Museum.
I'm the administrator of the Clark County Museum system here in Clark County, Nevada.
Back at the shop, Rick makes his offer, $200. The customer hoped for $1,200, but takes the reality check with grace. You've got all the time in the world to think about it, Rick adds. It's a polite letdown, and the guy walks. Drama overload. But hey, not every piece of glass reveals treasure.
A guy brought in a 1940 World War II spyglass. So we took it to Clark County Museum, where my buddy authenticated it. Now we just have to negotiate a price.
So what do you want for it?
$1,200.
How's it feel to want?
It's what I figured.
After we met with Mark, I was really excited.
Cut to some modern metal. A guy rolls in with a 1996 Harley Davidson Road King, dripping chrome and emotional baggage. It's got pink flames, he says sheepishly. And Chumlee's grin says it all. This breakup bike screams heartbreak and repaint job. The seller's ready to say goodbye to the past and hopefully cash in.
Here's my 1996 Harley Road King. I was dating this girl a few years ago and had a smaller bike, and
You were dating her. She's an ex now, huh?
Well, actually, that's why I'm wanting to sell it. It's
time to be a playboy. I know where you're coming from.
Mechanically solid, but that custom pink and red paint job, brutal. Dwight warns they'll have to completely repaint it before it'll sell. The seller wants $15,000, but Rick lowballs at $5,000, calling it the price of removing bad memories. Negotiations heat up quick.
The 96 Road King was a bike built by Harley specifically to go on long distance rides. I mean, this bike you could hop on in San Francisco, drive it straight to New York, no problem. So what do you think, Dwight?
I think it's a really cool bike. It's really desirable and people are really after them.
After tense haggling, they land at $8,000, but knows he'll have to flip it fast. A few weeks later, the Harley's back, this time with a sleek black and silver two-tone job. The transformation is jaw-dropping. Gone are the pink flames, replaced by pure classic Harley glory. Talk about redemption on wheels.
From the moment we bought the Harley, we knew that the pink flames on it were going to turn away a lot of buyers, so we asked my buddy Dwight to give it a more classic paint job. And today we're going to go pick it up. Ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right.
Oh, look at that.
So what do you guys think?
Sure as beats pink and red, man.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. I completely disassembled it.
Dwight unveils his work. Multi-layer candy paint, silver leaf stripes, solo seat. Corey's blown away. Dwight drops the bill, $1,500. The bike now looks worth $12,000 to $14,000 easy. That's what you call flipping heartbreak into horsepower.
For $12,000 to $14,000 now?
It's not too bad, man. I'm just getting kind of nervous if there's going to be any profit left in this. Dwight, you're the man. Couldn't ask for a better job.
Thank you very much.
Whenever we can affordably modify something to make it more appealing to people, it's always worth the investment.
Meanwhile, a man brings in two supposed World War II military knives, passed down from his grandfather, a supply sergeant who apparently got caught stealing. One knife's antler handle catches Rick's eye, the other's stamped kinfolks, but Rick suspects at least one is an official military issue.
So what can you tell me about them?
Well, I can tell you that, it's in great shape. It's not bent or anything. It's a U.S. Navy knife. It looks pretty clean. It's in pretty good shape.
Okay. First off, this is the original handle. This right here is Elkhorn.
Rick calls in Dean, the weapons expert, who quickly separates the facts. One's a modified Navy knife with a handmade stag handle. Cool, but only worth $75 tops. The other, though, is the real gem, a genuine kinfolks bailout knife issued to WWII airmen worth $400 to $600 at auction. Rick's thrilled. This is the find he didn't see coming.
Afternoon, Rick. How you doing,
Hey, Dean,
sir?
how's it going? These are the knives I called you about?
Oh, wow. An expert in antique U.S. military edged weapon. What I really love about the collecting of them is all of the many variations.
Deal time. The seller shoots for $600. Rick fires back with $200, and after some good-natured bartering, they settle at $249.50. Yes, Rick even rounds down for comedic effect. Everyone laughs. Deal made. It's vintage Pawn Stars energy, history, humor, and hustle in one.
Coming in, Dean. Really
Thank you.
This is why I call in experts, because without him, I would have probably bought the theater knife and let the kinfolk's knife walk right out the door.
I need to strike a fair deal with you.
Okay. This one? I don't want.
Really? It doesn't interest you at all?
No. I don't know when this was done.
Okay.
It's in lousy condition.
Right.